this. Nothing. For everyone's protection. The trash that good either. The trash that good either. Let's see. The trash that good either. Let's see. Let's see. Could be surprised that people apologize for this minor situation. Surprised that people apologize for this minor situation. And apologies. And apologies. Anyways, I trashed it. Representative Luna, Burleson Reveal, talking about it. Catholic liars, meet that our duty, and I should be doing one. And or be attacked and ridiculed if we don't talk about the truth and put out the truth and everything. And demand that the truth be put out there, and people that have suffered through this get compensation and they're due justice. Anyways, let's go.
Of weaponized.
You know what's been interesting is Arrow from the get-go has not been an honest broker with Congress.
The sightings are over the ocean, and then you do a little more research, and a lot of these areas are deep water areas. We have 5 or 6 of those. Look, I just want to know what we're spending $1 billion on. The bottom line. I got one group saying they don't exist in the department, other groups say they do exist.
I swear it wasn't.
Burroughs and I have both seen things that we're not allowed to talk about. What the hell is going on?
The intelligence community has a level of credible belief that they have the ability to talk to, like mentally talk to some kind of entities.
I never let a beautiful woman get the best of me, I swear to God. Okay? That's not how I react until we start talking. Don't even go there. Okay.
James Lukatsky came to you with government possession of NHI craft and how they ultimately gained entry. Can you testify to the veracity of that claim?
He can't tell us, but maybe he can tell you. Where is that craft? Can you go hunt it down? Can you go see it?
Are any of you willing to name specific gatekeepers within the root cell of the UAP-SAP Federation?
Glenn Gaffney, CIA.
Can you go after an interview with Glenn Gaffney from the CIA and ask him, what was this all about, this UFO transfer that's now recorded in history? Can you go after him, you guys?
This
is weaponized.
You know, one thing is for me in UFOs, I could go out there, I know that they're out there. You know, I've got stuff on film, I got pictures, etc. And, you know, after a while, I see so many times, you don't need the military, you don't need representatives, you don't need these people to tell you what the truth is. You already know what it is and everything. You can feel them around, you can feel it.
This is Weaponized. I'm George Knapp. I'm here in the deep, cluttered bunker in Las Vegas because explosions might be happening today. Jeremy, where are you?
Oh.
I'm in my same non-disclosed location.
So, you know, since 2017, the New York Times story that blew things wide open, exposed the existence.
I just hope it isn't where Saddam hid. That'd be a bad place. You all know what happened to them.
Of secret government programs. ATIP was the one they named. OSAP we learned about later. Members of Congress have perked up their ears and have become interested in the UFO UAP issue. At first, it was very quietly. They did behind closed doors briefings from military folks. We know some of the people who delivered those briefings, and then they become more open about their interest in it. We now had several hearings. 50 years, UFOs didn't get a peep on Capitol Hill. Now we've had several hearings, and we were at the last couple of them. The last one in September an extraordinary panel of witnesses, and then I was one of them too, but I'm not all that extraordinary.
Having investigated this issue for so many years, what is the long game with respect to disclosure of this information to the public?
Well, the secret's out. I mean, how many videos have there been already? You know, videos that are leaked from within the military and intelligence agencies and contractors and sensor platforms. It's out there. But they have the high ground. The people that don't want us to take it seriously dismiss it, discredit the witnesses, come up with a cover story. I mean, it's been out there a long time. The public senses that it's real, and the people in authority dismiss them. It's a game that's been going on a long time, and I don't think they're ever going to release it. I think that there's an attitude among the people that have been involved in this for a long time that the public doesn't deserve to know, and that the public probably can't handle it, but they can.
But, you know, I think members of Congress...
There are too many laws that have been broken. Too many laws. Too many different kinds and types of criminal activity that's been happening. And they'd have to face justice. People want justice, and they're going to do anything they can to keep it a secret. Because then they'd have to admit that they've always been wrong, and that there hasn't been a real reason to keep this stuff a secret. And people can say, oh, this is about national security. It's not. Because, in fact, we should have this magic to help us go to the stars. This magic that we can live on other planets. This magic where we all have psychic, telepathic abilities. And we don't need cell phones to communicate. We can do that telepathically, psychically, or whatever. Whether you're here on Earth or not on Earth, there's a way to do that beyond the stars. And they want to control us. The government wants us controlled. It's like they want us in a cage, in a boxed cage. And they want to control our thoughts. They want to control what we watch, what we see, what we do, how we see, and how we watch things. That's the government. That's the CIA. That's the intelligence. That's the indoctrination. The stuff that they want control. And what they're going to do is that they're going to flip it on us, and they're going to say it's for our protection. And it's not. It's what a sociopath and a psychopath will tell you. Actually, a sociopath more likely. But anyways, I think you get what I'm saying with this.
Congress that we know are growing a little bit indecisive about what the future of the hearings might be. They're frustrated. They've been blocked. They are subjected to ridicule. They can't get the witnesses they want, information. DOW and CIA and others are saying they can't find it, they don't have it. And so I think they're a little bit frustrated. And there has even been some talk about no more hearings at all. So, you know, we wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth, but it's impossible to get, say, an interview with the three real workhorses on this issue in the House. Representative Luna from Florida, Representative Burchett from Tennessee, Representative Burleson from Missouri. They're out there every day beating the bushes, pounding the pavement, trying to get to the bottom of these things, talking to witnesses, and trying to really achieve something like transparency. Of course, it would be seemingly impossible to get all three of them in an interview at the same time, right?
But you did it, right?
Yeah,
babe?
that would be wild. It'd be very hard to do. They're super busy, but I'm feeling lucky, George.
So today, that's what we've got going. All three of them are joining us to talk about UFOs, where things stand, and where they might head in the future. And we understand their frustrations because we've faced the same kind of thing ourselves. We're not members of Congress, obviously, but we face the same thing, an uphill battle, pretty much every step of the way.
I mean, I feel like I have a job with Congress from the very first hearing. You know, they made a call to find out what they didn't know. And bam, I worked each time, months at a time with them, just doing hundreds of calls and videos and helping do vetting. So I feel like I've worked a lot with them. I really trust these people. At first, it was just me and Burchett kind of getting our hands dirty. But now with the new task force, so this is the House Oversight Committee's task force on the declassification of federal secrets. And Rep. Luna is the head of that. But she really wanted the others to be with us because they do a lot of work. So Rep. Burleson.
I should say that's probably until they have the next election, and then she'll be under the Democrat. The thing is It's like this shouldn't be about politics or anything like that. This is about the people's right to know the truth about everything. How really this, like what we're living in, is sort of like a simulation. It's like a cage that we're in, and what these ETs or NHI, not even intelligence, have is a way for us to break outside the box. This prison, this flesh prison that we live in, and be able to see outside the simulation that we live in and stuff. Um, so this is actually, well, when I say shattered dimensions, stuff like that, it breaks the reality and puts us in a new one with more unlimited possibilities and stuff. So,
And Rep. Burchett, look, as you said, we hadn't had hearings in over 50 years. I don't think there's a fatigue on hearings. I want to kind of jump in with my opinion on that. I do hear them saying that they've had a lot of great witnesses, but I do know that they're getting blocked when it has to do with evidence, with footage. They've asked for access to the UAP archives of footage, which we know exists. You and I have been exposed to a lot of that, and they are being denied access, that and subpoena power. They haven't subpoenaed anybody yet. I mean, they've been the champions for disclosure, but the question is, what's the next step forward? Is it just having more people, witnesses, telling them, go look here, go look there? No. The next step is evidence. It's action taken on what they've already heard from people. You dropped so many bombs, specific names. You gave them names of gatekeepers of the UFO programs. They have some work to do where they have to kick open some doors. And I feel like they want to do it, and I feel like they will do it. But I think what you're feeling is something that we felt, a little bit of fatigue. Like you have to kick in doors to make progress on this topic.
Yeah. Well, the impossible has been achieved. We've got all three of those members joining us today for Weaponized, and let's hear what they have to
sexy
say.
studs.
You guys are considered the champions of disclosure, like it or not, with the public.
Hi, Polly.
You've been breaking the mold.
Hi.
Recently, we've
Are
had
you
UFO
single?
hearings again for the
Desperate?
first time in 50 years. And Rep. Luna, with your House Oversight Committee's Task Force
I
on
heard
the
this.
declassification of federal secrets, you held for the first time under that committee the last UFO or UAP hearing. So I just wanted to hear from each of you. You've heard a lot of testimony now. You've gotten a lot of leads. When you've gone to federal agencies, have you received any pushback or anything where they've stopped you from obtaining information that you've lawfully asked for?
Yeah, I think what was so neat about the last hearing is that Burleson had some footage dead dropped to him. Obviously, that was footage that they did not want to show the American people, and they didn't even really want to show Congress. And so even in following up on that, it's one thing to have hearings where you have witness testimony, and that is all valid. We can confirm the credibility of the witnesses, et cetera. But when you actually have footage, like physical evidence, that's a huge deal. And I know Representative Burchett just joined us. So Burchett, we just actually kicked off the podcast, but I was telling him just about the first hearing that we had. And long story short, we were basically after that pretty aggressive on following up with specifically the Department of War in one area in particular where we were told that a lot of this footage would be housed. And of course, I'll let the other representatives tell you what happened. And I'm sure you can already assume, but we were denied access. So, my thing is this. Look, if you're looking at this from a strictly scientific perspective or strictly defense perspective, and you have members of Congress that are asking to see footage and then they're constantly being denied it, why go through all of this orchestrated effort?
Why are they allowing that bullshit? Why don't they say, just F you, we are the people's representatives? Just put them in contempt of Congress. Why is there that if I did this in a court, if I did this in Congress, I could be jailed for contempt of Congress, but these mother effers can get away with murder and get away with all these crimes of keeping stuff classified and stuff like that. And there's just a two-tier justice system with this, and this is another thing that pisses me off. How they can get away with all this. If I said this in court or Congress said can't do that, or national security, they'd hide me on that clause national security, which is BS. It isn't. is that they don't want people to know. And that BS needs to stop. That bullshit needs to go. Yeah, if I tried there or some other Joe, it's like, excuse you? How about we just throw you in the slammer until you do decide to give it up to us?
To block, stonewall, prevent information from coming out if it's not real.
Representative Luna, I really appreciate you allowing Dina Titus, my representative from here in Nevada, to make the introduction to me back in that September hearing. It was a nice touch. I've been lobbying her for a while on these issues. Can you give us a general overview, all three of you, starting with you, Representative Luna, then Burchett, then Burleson, about the future of hearings? Is there any point in going forward with hearings if you are denied information, and even if it seems like almost Department of War and the CIA are demonstrating contempt for Congress in refusing to give you information, and even if you could get them into a skiff, they have rules where they can't really tell you what they know.
Yeah, it is. And everybody thought, with the Trump administration, Trump lied his ass off and said that he would let all this info go. And I hate both sides because they're both socio-psychopathic liars.